Welcome back to English 4.0, the radio show. Let's go! Advanced. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Welcome to the advanced portion of Class 189. And we'll get started with one of my favorite exercises. I say it every time, don't I? I say it a lot. I love this one. But it's true. This is the Mastering the Interrogative, which is a really great drill, a really great exercise. This is the one where I give you the answer to a question, and I need you to ask me the question that I've already answered. Okay? So if I say, it's blue, you say, what color is it? Okay? She said her name was Mary. You could say, what did she say her name was? Okay? So ask me the question that I've already answered. All right? All right. He chose the blue book. The blue book. Okay. Now the question would be, which book did he choose? The blue book. Which one? The blue book. So the question would have to be with which. Which book did he choose? I met Peter outside the office. Who did you meet outside the office? Well, Peter. So notice I stress Peter. I met Peter outside the office. So you're asking for the identification. So you say who. Who did you meet outside the office? It's about 275 kilometers from my house to yours. How far is it from your house to mine, Kyle? How far is it from your house to mine? Well, about 275 kilometers. It costs so much because it's made of real leather. Why does it cost so much? Why does it cost so much? Sally speaks 12 languages. 12 languages. That's amazing. How many languages does Sally speak? I don't know anyone who speaks 12 languages, but that's a lot. I mean, that would be amazing. I'd love to speak 12 languages. We saw the latest episode last Thursday. When did you see the latest episode? When did you see the latest episode? It's black. What color is it? He turned on the air conditioning because his mother was cold. Why did he turn on the air conditioning? Okay, because his mother was cold. So why? Why did he turn on the air conditioning? Her drink consisted of beer and 7-Up. What did her drink consist of? It consisted of beer and 7-Up. It sounds like a clara. What you call a clara here in Spain. What did it consist of? It consisted of beer and 7-Up. She bought 4 pairs of shoes last week. How many pairs of shoes did she buy last week? Well, 4. She bought 4 pairs of shoes last week. All right. Let's try 2 more. He turned his phone off because he wanted to get some sleep. Why did he turn his phone off? Why did he turn his phone off? We would have been sent to jail if they had caught us. We would have been sent to jail. So what would have happened if they had caught us? If they had caught us. What would have happened if they had caught us? All right, mastering the interrogative, one of my favorite exercises, and I always include that exercise in my other program, The Verb Circus, here on Vaughan Radio, Mondays and Fridays. And I look at one verb in every show, and then I do translation and this mastering the interrogative exercise with the day's verb. as well. So if you like that exercise, I recommend you try listening to the verb circus and see how well you do with those challenges in the program. Now, we can look at another structure here that we saw in the last class. For the time being, de momento. So I hear people, and I get a headache when I hear people say, for the moment. But no. For the time being, we say, for the time being. For the time being, I live in Spain. Am I going to be here forever? I don't know, but for the time being, I'm here. I'm happy here. Now, are you going to start learning Chinese next year, or are you going to stay with English for the time being? Oh, I'm going to stay with English for the time being. I think it's a good idea. I recommend you stick with English, stay focused on English for the time being. For now, you can also say for now, de momento, for now, or for the time being. My brother is moving to Texas, but for the time being, he lives in Holland. Right now, temporarily, but for now, for the time being, at the moment, for the time being, yeah. All right, so that structure, it's an interesting one and good to remember for the time being or also for now. Okay, so ways of saying de momento. Let's move on and take a look at our expression of the day. Expression of the day. All right, our expression of the day. Our expression of the day today is to raise eyebrows. To raise eyebrows. I just looked at the verb to raise, subir, to make something go up. So this is a transitive verb. You raise something else. I raise my hand. If I raise my hand rises. Did you hear that, class? If I raise my hand rises. It will rise because I will raise it. The sun rises every morning. The government can raise taxes. If the government raises taxes, taxes will rise, right? But this is to raise eyebrows, to make eyebrows. And now your eyebrow is the little bit of hair above your eye, okay, the eyebrow, not the eyelash, but not actually on the eye itself, but above, on the lower part of your forehead. Those are your eyebrows. And to raise eyebrows, imagine, why would you raise your eyebrows? Your eyebrow go up. It's because you're intrigued by something. To be interested. Oh, that was strange. I'm surprised. When you're surprised by something, very often you raise your eyebrows. Your eyebrows actually go up on your face. So the expression to raise eyebrows means to make people's eyebrows go up because they're surprised. So in other words, to raise eyebrows means to make people surprised, to do something strange, something that causes curiosity or interest. That's strange. That kind of, I think that raised a few eyebrows when he did that. So people, if you raise eyebrows, then you're doing something, maybe something a little bit controversial, something interesting, something different, and we're wondering about it. Maybe you'd better be careful because you might get in trouble. It raised a few eyebrows. It definitely caught people's attention and raised a few eyebrows. So if you do something a little bit abnormal, something different, you can very often raise eyebrows, which is our expression of the day. Okay, I think this course has raised a few eyebrows. People say, oh, that's interesting. English on TV and on the radio, all for free? Wow. And then if I pay just a small fee, I get a book collection and access to online information and tutors and then a test that I write at the end to get a certificate. That's fantastic. And it raises some eyebrows, and it has. It's raised a lot of eyebrows around Spain. It really has, yeah. All right, let's move on now to take a look into class 189, where we have the structure to be better off. to be better off, which is typically to be mejor económicamente hablando, or to be en una situación mejor, desde el punto de vista moral o físico también. So it can be financial or it could be non-financial. It could just be health-wise in terms of your health or in terms of your general lifestyle. I'm better off. I think I'm better off eating well, exercising, and getting to bed early. I'm better off than if I just try to work too much. Yeah, so I think I'm better off pacing myself. You know, but good hard work is very important. You're better off working hard, but working efficiently than you are spending many, many, many hours but being wasteful. You know, he's better off working here. You'd be better off if you knew English. I think it's true. Yeah, I think people tend to be better off when they know English. Yeah. So imagine, complete the sentence. I'll give you some information, a suggestion, and then you can say, you would be better off. So I think you should get a new car. You can say, you'd be better off getting a new car. Or you'd be better off if you got a new car. I think you should change jobs. You'd be better off if you changed jobs. I think you should go back to school. You'd be better off if you went back to school. I think you should break up with her. You'd be better off if you broke up with her. I think you should save a little more money every month. Yeah, just save a little bit more money every month. I think you'd be better off if you saved a little more money every month. All right. So very often we're talking about an economic position, economically speaking, but certainly not always, just in general. You'd be in a better position. Things would be better. I recommend it because I think things would be better. I think you would be better off to be better off. You would be better off if you made some changes, if you got more exercise, if you got a new job. You'd be better off to be better off. All right, let's take a look at our 5 words of vocabulary. Vocabulary of the day. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the vocabulary of the day. That's right, our 5 words of vocabulary. The first word is suspirar. Suspirar. To sigh. Sigh. S-I-G-H. Sigh. Sigh. Yeah, so the spelling is a little bit deceiving there, but it's S-I-G-H. That the G-H don't really get pronounced that way. Sigh. It's almost like S-I. Sigh. I de ojo. I. Sigh. Ablandar. To soften. Soften. So this is one of these adjectives, soft, that becomes a verb when we add en. Soften. It's too hard, we can soften it. If it's too soft, we can harden it. Right? If your coffee is too strong, I will weaken it with some cream. Right? You can, if your muscle is too weak, you can strengthen it by lifting weights. Make it stronger, strengthen. Make it weaker, weaken. Make it softer, soften. Make it harder, harden. Make the road wider, widen it. I think they need to widen the road so they can have more lanes of traffic. Make it wider, widen it. So this works in a certain number of cases. Certain adjectives, the ones I've mentioned. Make it darker, you can darken it. Okay? So it works with these. It certainly does not work with all adjectives. There are a limited number. I think I've mentioned most of the ones that certainly that come to mind immediately. So adding an en to turn it into a verb. Soften, to soften, ablandar. Escupir, to spit. S-P-I-T. Sobrevivir. To survive. 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 Now remember, the V, we have to treat it like a vocalized or voiced F. Survive. Not survive, but survive. Okay? Sobrevivir. Dar por sentado. Dar por sentado is to take for granted. To take for granted. Yeah. A lot of people in Spain take for granted that the weather will be good. So when it's not good, they get surprised because they take the good weather for granted. They take it for granted. Okay? So it's separable to take it for granted, to take the good weather for granted, to take something for granted. Dar por sentado. All right. Now, finally, the last point we're going to look at today is la mayor parte del tiempo, which in English we say most of the time. We do not say the most of the time. We simply say most of the time. Okay? Most of the time. I spend most of the time teaching English. Yeah, during the week I spend most of my time teaching English. I can personalize it and say most of my time teaching English. What do you spend most of your time doing? Do you spend most of your time studying? Do you spend a lot of your time studying? Natasha's cat spends most of the time sleeping. Truckers spend most of the time on the road. They spend most of the time driving. Yep. Paso in my classes, I could say in Spanish, paso la mayor parte de mi tiempo corrigiendo errores básicos. It's true. I spend most of my time correcting basic mistakes. So here we're using that possessive adjective, most of my time. I spend most of my time with students correcting basic mistakes. I do. David spends most of his time in the office. Alvaro spends most of his time working on a computer. My cousin spends most of his time traveling. He spends most of the time traveling. But if I choose to personalize it, I add the possessive adjective, he spends most of his time traveling. All right? We will spend a lot of our time tomorrow reviewing the things that we have spent our time on today. In our normal little review section tomorrow, we'll start with a review of what we've just seen. But I'm going to stop now because I'm out of time. So I want to thank you so much for listening. And remember, if you have any questions, write in through their website, vaughaningles.com. We're here to answer your questions and to help you. And keep studying, keep working hard. We only have a few more classes left, so stay focused. We'll see you soon. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye-bye.